Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's TheaterSays here, and in this video I'm going to discuss about the May 2025 Imaginarium Theater and what are the enemies you would tackle and how you can tackle their mechanics. So for this theater, we have this Hydro, Cryo, and Geo element, and the first boss on the third act we have this Arithmetic Enhancer Mech, which is the local legend variant. At the start, it spawns out a Geo shield, like a really thick Geo shield, and this boss has a gravity reduction field, so it boosts like all the characters' jump height, so you can use plunge attacks to break the Geo shield, or you can just use like other blunt attacks like overload or jaw attacks or claymore attacks, and like just now plunging attacks. Yeah, these are the attacks that are like really recommended to break the shield, and the shield will be generated sometime after it's broken, so it wasn't like a one-time shield, it will just like regenerate back. And when it's not shielded, you can attack it with Oja attacks so that it will be stunned for a period of time, and it has 10% all elemental resistance and physical resistance, but when it's shielded by the Geo shield, it has 210% all elemental and physical resistance. And on the Act 6, we have this Wild Manifestation, the Cryo Wild Manifestation. It's the local legend variant, so it wasn't like the usual Wild Manifestation that sucks your energy and creates a wild shield. Yeah, not that. And for this local legend, you need to remember two things. At the start, it does a one-time attack, which it deals 60% of the max HP of your on-field character, so like your off-field character won't be like affected. And then it spawns out a protection spirit where you need to heal your character, even though if your character is like full health, but if you're still healing, you are actually like healing the protection spirit, and the more you heal, the more the damage the protection spirit does. Like when it's healed on maximum damage, it does like 0.5% of damage of its max HP, and if the total healing exceeds 175%, it does 0.875% of its max HP of damage, and if the healing exceeds 250%, it does 9.25% of its max HP of damage to the Wild Manifestation. And it's not like one-time damage, it's like a laser, like it does damage like every 1 second. It's like Nouvelette, but Wild Manifestation. But I'm not really sure how much the Protection Spirit needs to heal itself. Like I don't know how much its max HP needs, but it's the best to have like a lot of healers in the team, so you can just like let it heal exceed 250% of its max HP to deal like the most damage like most of the time. And after it attacks, sometimes the protection spirit will despawn, and you might need to wait for like about 15 seconds for the cryo manifestation to spawn another protection spirit. And also it has 10% all elemental and physical resistance and 50% cryo resistance. On the Act 8, we have our third boss, the Statue of Marble and Brass, this Legatus Golem. At the start, it spawns out a Geo shield, and it has 10% all elemental and physical resistance, and when it's shielded, it has 70% all elemental and physical resistance. And its Geo shield is like the Arithmetic and Enhancer Mech, but it's like more thicker, but as an exchange, it doesn't have that much resistance, so you can like brute force it if you cannot like break the shield like in one cycle. You need 2 cycles. In that first cycle, you can actually like brute force some damage to the Legatus Golem, and when it's paralyzed, it has negative 70% of physical and all elemental resistance, so yeah, it's the best to break the shield. And the Legatus Golem shield will only recover half of its original GU when it's broken. So the original GU is 32. After you've broken it once, it will be only 16 GU left. And for the same, if you break it for the third time, it will have 8 GU left, but 8 is the minimum, as the lowest it can get is 25% of its original GU. And it has a special mechanic that it spawns a harp-like resonator where you need 6 attacks to break it, and after you break it, it does 6.4 GU of damage to the shield. So if you are breaking the shield at the start, it's like 1/5 of the shield, and if it's the second, it's like 1/3, and for the third time, it's like almost about to insta break it. And if you did not break the resonator in time, it will explode and deal damage to your on-field character. And on the Act 8, we have our fourth boss, the Secret Source Automaton Configuration Device, and it has 60% all elemental and physical resistance, and it has a mechanic that you can see by the circular energy bar. It's like having Night Soul effects under its HP bar. When your character enters and maintains in the Night Soul state, it accumulates 15 energy. And the Night Soul actually stacks, so you can have your on-field character and all of your off-field character to be in the Night Soul state, and it's just like boost up the energy charging rate like really fast. And after the energy is filled up, it does laser attacks surrounding itself like in the square shape. And after that, it spawns out 2 pillars with a mechanism on each pillar. The pillars can only be climbed by the characters from the Children of Echoes of Mavrika, and it can be traversed by using like characters that jumps up like Garming, like Kazuha, like Xianyun or Xiao, or you can teleport up like Lanyan's E, Alhatem's E, Kaching's E, or you can jump up with like characters from the Masters of the Nightwind. You can use Ororon or Citlali, or you can just use constructs like Zhongli's Pillar or the Dual Traveler's Construct. Yeah, those are the viable ways you can climb up the pillars. And also there are actually ledges for characters to climb up the phlogiston pillars. So for medium characters and short characters, by standing next to this Secret Source Automaton, and on the right ledge, we see this ledge that's halfway, about halfway of the whole pillar. This is the ledge we want. And to go out, you need to go right to the ledge, hug the wall, and then press. And then just jump up, like going forward, hugging the wall, and then press left and jump at the same time. And then you can just jump up the ledge. This applies to medium male, medium female, and short female characters like the lolly characters like Nahida and Cleve. And for tall characters, you have to face the Secret Source Automaton and then choosing the left ledge, and you can see that this is the ledge that I'm facing, this is the ledge we want, and then you can just jump up. This is more difficult as you have to calculate the exact distance for them to jump up. And this ledge only applies to all tall male characters and certain tall female characters like Rosaria, Arlecchino, Mavrika, Shilonen, and Kujosara. Yeah, those are the 5 female characters that I've tested that are able to climb up the pillar in that way. I think that's affected by their height, as they are the 5 most tallest female character in the game. And other than that, I don't think that there's other tall female characters that could climb up this pillar in any way. And during the pillar state, it starts charging up a really strong attack. And if you did not break the mechanism in time, it does like a really strong attack like this. Of course, my wood level is like wood level 5, so it doesn't do that much damage, but in the Abyss, it basically insta-kills your character. So yeah, it's like basically the best to break the pillars. And there's also benefits if you break the pillar in time. So you can see that like there's 15% of its max HP drop the moment when I break those pillars, and then it will be paralyzed, and all of its resistance will drop to -30, which is like a really good thing. So basically, if you manage to break the mechanism in time, you get a lot of benefits. If you did not, it like does a almost insta-kill attack, so it's like really recommended to break the mechanism. And also, if you did not have Night Soul characters, you could not fill up the energy bar. The Secret Source Automaton actually enters the pillar state every 40 seconds. So like at the start of the battle, and then after 40 seconds, it enters the pillar state. It doesn't do the laser attack, the square laser attack. It just directly goes into the pillar state. And then after you break the mechanism, and then it recovers from its paralyzed state, and then you wait for another 40 seconds, it does the pillar state again. And of course, this is the Imaginarium Theater. You would not have a lot of characters that could do like Kazuha's E, like you don't have Kazuha here, or you don't have Mavrika here, you don't have Ororon, so you could not like traverse up the pillars like really easily. So I think that this is like one of the skills you need to know. But if you are not that confident of your skill to climb up the pillar, there's actually like a handful of characters you can like climb up the pillars, like Citlali Hook Jump, Shilonen's E, and Mulani Jump when she's in her Night Soul state, Kachina's E, Shiori's E, Albedo's E, Zhongli's E. Yeah, I think that those are the only characters you could use to climb up the pillars. So if you could not learn to climb the pillars like the manual way, make sure to leave like characters like them for the last chamber. And also here on the special guest stars, we also have Venti, which is also another character that could help you climb up the pillar, as he can use his E to generate a wind field, an animal field, so you can fly up. So Venti is like basically here for the last chamber for characters that don't have like Zhongli, Sitlali or Shilonen. And also Venti is like really good for group enemies, and this is what the Imaginarium Theater has a lot. And for one tip, for my video I've used a team which includes Candice, Albedo, Kachina and Charlotte. It's actually a team I find surprising like really good for the first two chambers. If you don't really need like the stars, you just want the clear, you can just use this team. But if you really want the stars, I do think that this is like a really good team to clear the first two chambers, as I did use them to clear the first two chambers like a lot of times, because I've reset a lot of times already. But this team is like a little bit scuffed, which you might need several times of practice to do it. Just to remember to find chambers that has like the least enemies, as this team wasn't like group enemy friendly. It's like 1 or 2 enemies are okay, but if it has like 4 or 5, yeah, it's not a really good team. And by using that team, you can actually leave like Ayaka and Nuvlet for the later act, which is like a really good thing to have. And for this special guest stars like Venti, I've said just now, Hu Tao, of course Hu Tao, we have Yelan, Xingqiu and Zhongli, another DPS, another really strong DPS for this theater. Kave I think is here for like Bloom, but I don't really think that it's like really relevant, because Kave will be the only Dendro character in the team. And also Cookie Shinobu, if she's here to be with Kave to play Hyper Bloom, I would not recommend that team, because Kave is not like a really good Dendro driver. He doesn't like apply Dendro that much compared to like other Dendro characters. He's like a really good Bloom activator. Oh, so speaking about Bloom, I've thought about Nilu. So I think he's here for like to help Nilu to generate some Nilu Bloom cores. But I don't think that sustaining energy won't be like a really great thing for him in this theater, unless you are bringing like 2 more 5 characters like really good batteries like Xingqiu or Yelan, yeah, characters like those in the team, then yeah, maybe Kave could like sustain his burst. And for Cookie Shinobu, I'm not really sure why she's here, because if you're talking about taser teams, I would more recommend Auron for this. So I would think that if you don't have Nilu, she could be with Kave to do like Hyper Bloom. And like just now, if you are bringing like Xingqiu and Yelan, which are like 2 like really good batteries, then yeah, maybe he could like sustain his Dendro and do Hyper Bloom damage. And another use I think that Cookie has is like healing. I think she's here to like ensure that you have another character to heal for the X6 for this protection spirit. So yeah, if you don't really have that much healers, yeah, Cookie could act like as another healer. And also for this theater, you need like more healers because of this X6 for this second boss. So yeah, I think that's all for this theater. If you find this guide useful, leave a like and subscribe. I gladly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!